invented engine brake. So Tracy Cummings, who started Czech Brake Company almost 60 years back, and this is a news to most of the people in industry who know Czech Brake. By the way, Jacobs is now a Cummins company. So basically, it's circled back who invented the engine brake long back and not given back to Cummins probably, or not was with Cummins, is now again back to Cummins. So we have started operating together. Jacobs is now completely owned by Cummins India in India and globally. So what is engine braking? So engine braking, as the name suggests, it's not braking, it's actually retarding. There are multiple retarding technologies available in the world, but most efficient, most value, most of the values that are coming is from the engine brakes. So let me discuss about what is engine brake in terms of technology. I will not go deeper into the technology because I understand this is a session after lunch. Just probably a 1 minute of understanding. So this is our regular motoring sequence, the intake, compression, expansion stroke and exhaust stroke, which is very well known to all. This is how the engine brake work. So intake, compression. At the end of intake, before the start of compression, fueling is basically cut off and all the energy which is there in the cylinder is taken off. So that works as a retarder to the engine and it helps vehicles to slow down. It will not stop, and it's really needed in the environment like India, where our roads are most of the roads are coming from a hilly region or the vehicles are overloaded. I will talk about advantages after some time in my subsequent slides. So this is overall Jacobs vehicle systems, mainly operating from US. It's close to New York. The base is in Connecticut, Bloomfield. Globally, almost all the customers in Europe and North America are already engaged, including Japan and China as well. So these are various locations globally. Jacobs is operating, including India. I'm taking care of an India piece of it. How braking is going to help truck? This is a very important question all of you will have in your minds. So first of all, regulatory compliance. I'm sure you're aware that engine braking or retarding regulation has been already announced, and it is already implemented from 1st of April 2022. So meeting the engine brake requirement is a very important thing for all Indian vehicles, heavy vehicles right now flying in the Indian roads. So regulatory compliance is the most important thing that we are going to meet with this. Similarly, downhill control. So downhill control is when you would have seen many of the trucks flying on Pune-Mumbai road maybe, and after this Kandala Ghat, many trucks they wait to get cooled. The truck rims are getting heated, and I have seen some of the examples of tire burning as well. So that basically comes from continual braking, maybe the mines like Kerala or some other sections of the India, where most of the heavy duty trucks and tippers they run most of the time. So the ghat sections or downhills are almost like 7 to 8, 10 kilometers. So imagine continuously applying force on this kind of an environment on your service brake. So service brakes are getting heated and it heats your wheel rim as well as the truck tires basically. So I have seen some of the incidences of trucks getting burned because of the tire was heated. If not that, then such a heavily loaded trucks which are almost 1.5 times of the GVW, they are also getting loaded with some kind of a material, and it's getting punctured because of the heated tires. So most important thing to rectify this problem, engine brakes are available. There are some other kind of a retarder, but if you see the overall value proposition, engine brakes are most efficient and most valuable component to add onto the vehicle. Although in India this has come as a regulation, but rest of the world, although it is regulation, it is also used as one of the safety feature and getting overall economy from the vehicle. Vehicle stability, as I mentioned, imagine a vehicle going on any ghat section or even flying on the straight road having rainy season. So it gives a huge amount of stability to retard or stop the vehicles. The accidents happening in India, and every day we are struggling with such kind of issues. Government of India wants to make our roads faster, and then it is very important to have safer control on the road as well. So it becomes very important for the industry guys, I mean all of you, the OEMs and the component manufacturer, to make aware of such technology that exists in the world, which comes at a very cheaper or good value available in the in the ecosystem. Another one is overrun and overspeed. This is not a new problem for OEMs. Every now and then people get failures kind of overrun and overspeeding. Although overrun or overspeeding is not actually getting addressed from engine brakes, but it gets into it is controlled to some extent, because before getting into the overrun, you are going to apply your engine brake, which will retard your vehicle. Basically, it is retarding your engine RPM. So this is also helping such engine overrun issues. Next one is fuel efficiency. I mentioned in the technical portion, which I talked about 10 seconds, that engine fuel is cut off when the exhaust brake or the engine brakes are on. So it depends on how you apply the engine brake and at what RPM and what section basically you are applying. So depending on the duty cycle, it is proven that fuel efficiency is increasing. The numbers and all, it depends on the size of a vehicle and the weight of the vehicle it is carrying. Next thing is tire burst. I think I mentioned this. So tire getting heated and that is catching fire. So burst is very important problem that can be addressed. Particularly, the tippers kind of application, although it's not mandatory right now with the regulation, but there is a need to have this. I have worked with some of the fleet owners, in Kerala area, and they are very much appreciating having this technology on the trucks. Next is brake pad life. Yeah, this is very important part of saving basically. So what the company has proven, at least in India, is that the brake pad life goes almost double for the applications like tipper. It depends on what kind of a road and what is the driving cycle basically. So thus the total cost of ownership. So understand about these overall safety, brake life, the tire puncture frequency, stability on the vehicle, fuel economy. So this is going to help overall total cost of ownership for any trucks fleet owner. So now being a part of Cummins, I'm sure that I will be reaching to more of a people in India, and will try to implement this as much as possible with the OEMs. So let's talk about technologies available in this. Exhaust brakes you already know. So engine brake and exhaust brake are different, but it is kind of a braking technology available in the market. Bleeder brake, compression release brake, and high power density brake. So depending upon the braking capability or retarding capability, these various types are already there. This is a comparison of exhaust, bleeder, compression, and high power density braking power. This graph shows very clear indication that what kind of a technology is giving how much braking power basically for your vehicles. These are bleeder brake. I'm just going to show you some of the examples of how engine brakes looks like. So these are basically sitting on your valve trains under your engine head. This is a bolt-on kind of a breaker arrangement. So this can be retrofitted on your engine without changing any structure on the engine. Second thing is integrated bleeder brake. In that, basically we will be changing the rockers. So without changing the height of an engine, this can be implemented. Another thing is CR, compression release brake. This also comes in bolt-on technology. That means it can be adopted on your existing engine, or it can be engineered according to the rockers. Second is integrated and dedicated rockers. So dedicated rockers are without touching the existing intake and exhaust rocker. There will be additional rocker that will serve as a braking rocker. Lost motion and hydraulic lash adjuster. So compression release brake can be also working with hydraulic lash adjuster. So this is a problem I heard from many people in the industry, that if HLA is there, it becomes difficult to work with engine braking. So Jacob Brake has a solution to work in connection. So HLA and engine brakes can work together. This is a high power density. It's quite new in the technology, but it gives almost double the power. There are few more slides which will talk about braking, 2-stroke and 1.5-stroke. It depends on the braking requirement we have, but my experience is we are good to go with compression release because that is the requirement of our trucks in India. here are some brake images. It looks like this. So basically, it is integrated with the rocker, or it can fit on your head, engine head. So why jake brake? Or basically, I'm coming to the conclusion of this slide. It's actually a best value for your money, best solution at the best cost. Although you would have heard about any other solution, but the engine brake is something that goes inside your engine. That means it helps basically to integrate quickly. There is no additional infrastructure you have to add around the engine and on the vehicle. Yeah. Next one is stability on tougher Indian road conditions. You know the road conditions, the traffic situations, the rainy roads, the oil on the roads, and so many mud sections. Modern technology for Indian road conditions. So we have engine brake, we have all kind of stability solutions, but this is something which is little new to India and it can be implemented quickly. So I'm trying to say it's a modern technology that can be implemented for India. Protection of engine failures, just like the failures coming from engine overrun, can be stopped. Fuel saving obviously, and the lower maintenance of truck. So overall total cost of ownership will be going high. You will be really absorbing all the maintenance and everything with the value that you are getting because of an engine brake. So that's it. I think this is the end of my slide. So I would like to call questions if any. Yes, please. So the question is, can it be retrofitted, correct?
Yeah, you said they can be retrofitted, so how does it work?
Okay, it's a custom-made solution. Basically, it replaces your rocker or the area under the engine cover. It can be fitted into rocker. So I can show you the image which was there earlier. So it has to be designed that way. The first one, it has to be designed to touch the rockers and walls so that it can be retrofitted. But any readily available solutions, if you want to fit on any engine, that's not possible because every brake is customized. Yeah, this side. Please speak. So the question is whether it intervenes the emissions coming out of a vehicle. Well, it does not, but since it's a rocker, usually the validation is done to a good level so that it doesn't interrupt the existing system of the engine. But it does not impact any emission coming out of the engine. No, not required.
I think we'll wrap the session now. Next questions we can take during the networking session. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Sir for representing all this information.